All righty, everybody. I did not expect us to have a huge gathering this evening. It's Friday evening. So, one of the reasons we do this is to have time freedom, right? So that we can spend time with our family and do the things we want to do. I saw that the Livingston clan, they were out on boats and doing all kinds of things. So, I am really, really proud of you all, especially because like Ksenia, it must. Where are you? Are you on the East Coast? Yeah. Okay, so those of you on the East Coast, it's 7 o'clock at night, which is normally on a Friday night. For young people, time to go out and have some good time. Now, that said, I know most of you either have kids or grandkids or whatever, so maybe those days are gone, and you're like me, and 7, 8 o'clock at night, it's time to go have some fun. But it means getting under the covers and the pillow and crashing out. So, um, Jason, don't laugh. Your day will come. So, but I really appreciate you all being here and taking the time. I'm going to keep this short this evening. Um, I want to do two things really. One is I want to make sure, and here's there. There are some things that you're going to see. I don't know if any of you saw the video that Vincent Ortega did. He did a like a 15-minute maybe video talking about on his birthday, talking about he was giving away, 10 $100 bills and so forth. And he showed his, what he was doing and the website and everything. And if you noticed, he was sending people to the HempWorks BizOps site. Okay. And um, that kind of got me almost excited because, in the sense that, one of the things that has been the going mainstay in our business is the fact that Josh created an amazing system that converts really, really well. Right. And one of the things that Vincent and I and a lot of other people were wanting the new system to have was to capture the phone numbers. So I reached out to Aaron and said, "Hey, why? I assume he's doing this because I know he does a lot of texting." That he said yes, and I said, "Ask him if there was a way then to, after you get him into the system some other way, or so that they could be still in the system, the new system, and take advantage of that." And two things. One, and can we put in the hopper a page that is CBD benign, if that makes sense, right? That's just an opportunity page, kind of like the 7-figure page that we have in our back office, in the MDC back office and so forth, so that we can kind of either market it or put it out there and not be afraid of Facebook, knocking us down. So the reason I'm telling you this is because that is all in the works. And so I've kind of switched. If you see any of my links out there, you're going to go, "Oh no, Ron's not using the system. Is there something wrong?" Yes and no. No, there's nothing wrong with the system, and the Power Team system is really good. Once you get people in there, I love the emails that are coming out. I love everything that's there, but um, until they get a page that is generic and not CBD all over it, and with phone numbers option on it, I'm going to probably be using the back office ones from MDC because I want to be able to get their phone numbers, right? Because I'm getting a lot of pre-enrollees right now, but none of them can give me their phone numbers. And I like to text people and call them if need be and so forth. So I don't want anybody thinking, "Oh no, he's not supporting the system or this or that and everything." I'm supporting both systems. And if I get them in, and the funny part is they will come once you put them in. If they pre-enroll in your MDC back office, they're going to show up in in your Power Team back office. If you go to your team and look at free team or free affiliates or whatever, free members, they show up there. but because they haven't created, I think the username and login and all that, I'm not sure that they're getting the emails or anything. So what Aaron told me was Vincent's doing is if they upgrade, then he gets them to sign up for the Power Team system and go through that process and verify their account and all that other stuff. So I don't expect you to do any of that, get sidetracked in it and any of that stuff. But I didn't want people seeing one of my links or something and going, whoa, why isn't Ron doing that? Because I know that stuff happens, and I didn't want you to think that I don't think it's a great system. I do, but I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to do some marketing right now. And I know Facebook doesn't like me at this point in time because I've done CBD marketing, and so they've canceled all my stuff. So I finally got a new account and everything, and I don't want to use anything with CBD on it right now. Okay, that's enough said on that. The next thing is I want to take a little bit of time and just, again, let's see if you guys have any questions, any successes, anybody that has been, okay, and before we do that, use the link that I gave you, the daringdreamteam.com/free audiobooks. Use that link. I'm getting some really great responses out of that. So I sent that to you guys before, but it's really easy. It's just daringdreamteam.com/free audiobooks. And it takes them directly to my Dropbox link where they can download that document that's got links to 100 free personal development audiobooks. And these are great books, like from the best of the best. Eric Worre and Think and Grow Rich, and I don't remember Tony Robbins. I don't remember even half of them, but there's a lot out there, and people love getting a free gift. So use that as your introduction. We were talking about this the other night, where people are coming at this connection thing with all kinds of different ways to get the end result of, yay, I get to pitch you, I get to give you my link, I get to, wouldn't it be better if the person came back to you and said, man, that was awesome. No one's ever given me a gift like that before. What is it you do? Wouldn't you be in a much better place? Wouldn't you be in a much better situation if they were asking you what you're doing? Okay. That's how Robert Hollis has been building his business from day one, just giving away free gifts. Now, he gives away his free gifts, which you can do too, his care package and so forth. But I really like these audios because people love that. They love listening to audiobooks and stuff. They can put these on their phones and use them in their cars and traveling around and everything. I would encourage you to download them. Open that, get that document, and take those links. Put that document somewhere on your phone or on your tablet or computer or wherever, and go through some of those. They're great audiobooks. Okay. I believe the person that gives away the most audiobook documents is going to have the biggest success in our group, because you're coming at it. We've talked about this for a few nights now, is that you need to figure out what everybody else is doing and do the exact opposite. You need to be unique. You need to be different than everybody else, right? I hear someone crying out there. I don't know if they're crying because one of our chickens is passing away today, or they're crying because Gabriel decided to bite their leg off. But who knows? Little kids cry. So, what questions or successes have you guys had this week, if any? And by the way, real quick, Jason, first, I'd like to introduce Mr. Frank there. Frank is 23 years old or so. Retired military. Frank and I met the other day. He's on Tony Walker's team, and an amazing young man. And that's he's going to do some amazing things here. I always love getting more veterans on the team. And Frank, so welcome you to our group and to the team. All right, Jason.
Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, had to undo my headphones. I wish it was a success story, but I've probably been in a little over a month, and you just go through like my first introduction was Robert Hollis, and I was like, man, he's so fantastic, and really was hitting his training up hard, and I saw you and Carlos in there, so I was like, yeah, this is the right track, And then Carlos is really big on Ray Higdon, and then had Jenna's influence in there, so being new, you're sorting through all those. And yeah, so this week, I mean, like Carlos has really hammered home, the Facebook Lives and Ray Higdon. He wanted me to check out Ray Higdon's, subscription, and I just can't swing that right now. But I got, was it Fern Caballos? Fernie Caballos? I don't know. They're in the attraction marketing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of where Ray Higdon kind of hit it, like through that training.
So, yeah, he came up through My Lead System Pro MLSP.
Yeah, Carlos knows all those names of those, and I just had never.
That's where Carlos and I met.
Yeah, I've been doing. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I've been doing yeah, I mean, even on SEO, I saw you pop up on something. I'm like, how many times have I probably seen that name before? Didn't know who that was. You were ranking something, a blog or something high. But I'd been doing affiliate marketing over the last 10 years and just hadn't been on this side of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not familiar with, the attraction marketing, but more Dan Kennedy and Joe Polish kind of stuff. But so now, just realizing and more about the attraction marketing and the Facebook Lives, I just thought, well, I had your ear. Maybe you could just tell me, well, and with Carlos telling me all that, just seeing that Ray Higdon had like a blueprint, and he's calling it, a part-time blueprint and then a full-time blueprint. And it's probably hitting, like 20, 10 prospecting on the part-time and then doing one video a day. He's saying like you could probably swing that in an hour or two. And then on the full-time, maybe double that. I'm just wondering about that, the prospecting, like doing it on the Robert Hollis side. He did reach out to me through my Facebook Live. It was really nice. And so I slung him the interaction that I had with the prospect, and he was very complimentary on it, saying that I was doing it just like his training. But that it just seems very time consuming to me. I don't know how you can spin through 10 people a day.
Okay. Good question. And Sharon, I see all your comments. Congratulations. Looks like you were saying that you got a paid affiliate today. Awesome. On Facebook Market, Amazon, eBay, etc. I do not believe so. But I will address that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Jason's question and what he was talking about in some terms. People talk about attraction marketing.
I'm going to mute and put my headphones back on.
Okay, that sounds good. People talk about attraction marketing all the time, and here's what I will. I'm gonna give you a definition of what attraction marketing is. Okay, because you're going to hear that. There's a group of people out there, and I was involved with My Lead System Pro, which is probably the biggest organization out there. That was one of the first places that Ray Higdon and I met. He was actually my sponsor in a company I was in back in 2009, and we become good friends along the way. And then he introduced me to My Lead System Pro, and I met a lot of heavy hitters, what I thought were heavy hitters in network marketing. Okay. And that were out there teaching this attraction marketing, and the way it was being taught was, you don't tell anybody what you're doing, you don't put any links anywhere, you don't do anything like that. All you do is continually give out value, and then eventually people are going to come to you and ask you, hey, what do you do? Man, you really know a lot, right? Well, two things that I will tell you about that became disconcerting. One was I took on a blog path, And in 2017, I had the number 17 blog in the world out of 10 million plus. Mine was number 17. I was getting thousands of people visiting my blog every day. I was writing articles every day. I was doing lives and then putting the copies of the lives in my blog post. I was just out there all the time. And like Jason said, if you go out and you do a Google search on around here, and you're going to find a lot of articles, a lot of videos, and a lot of stuff out there. And I was right under Eric Worre and Ray Higdon and all these guys that did blogging and everything. And it was, life was good. No, it wasn't. Because, example, I bring on Laura and I say, hey, Laura, great, come on board. We're gonna do amazing things. And she says, well, what do I have to do? And it's like, well, you've got to get a blog, and you got to start writing articles every day, and you got to start doing lives every day, and you got to start doing it, and you got to start, and everybody's going, oh, okay, yeah, bye. So it was easy for me to recruit a bunch of people up front, but then there was no duplication whatsoever. It was not duplicatable for people. So I started to kind of analyze what attraction marketing in its core really means. And what it really means is you becoming attractive. You can tell I'm still working at it. I'm trying to comb my hair better. I try to, yeah, there you go, Frank. We're trying to get, we can't help it. Our hair went great, right? When I say become attractive, obviously, I'm talking about you're out there where people feel like they know, like, and trust you, right? You're being attractive. You're not putting stuff out that is controversial all the time, or stuff that people, in your audience don't want to hear about. You're giving out value. You're doing lives and things like that are fun, but are, and some that have value and so forth. You're mixing up, but you're becoming an attractive person. So people look at you and if they meet you in real life, they go, oh, wow, you are exactly the same. Not only you look the same, but you act the same. You're that person. And I want to be in business with you. It doesn't mean that you're a secret agent. Okay. It doesn't mean that you don't let people know what you do. You don't put any links out there, and you never want to spam your link onto other people's profile. Okay. That's just a big etiquette no. You don't message anybody a link unless they ask for it. You just don't invade other people's privacy or personal space, or whatever you want to call it, right? But your profile is your home. And we've talked about this every night, right? Your profile is your home. So the power, I was watching something the other day by a lady that makes millions of dollars online. And she said, it started out, somebody told me I need to do lives. I need to do Facebook lives. And I said, yeah, no, that's just, what else can I do? And he said, well, you can put posts up, you can do this, you can do that and everything. But because Facebook loves Facebook lives, they're going to give you more traction. They're going to give you more engagement. They're going to give you more time and energy than they're going to give any of your posts or anything else. So I was reading through some of her stuff, and I said, okay, well, there's no question about that. That's true. But how do I take the new person just coming on board? How do I grab Bob and say, Bob, you got to start doing lives, and it's going to take 6 months for those to kick in and get good? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not very exciting. How do we go from getting started to having the lives do what they need to do? Okay. Well, it's like anything else, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I see Troy's like this, Bob's like this. You eat elephant one bite at a time, right? So even though I encourage you all, and I think it's almost imperative that you start doing lives, that in the beginning cannot be your primary method of building your business. Okay. Now, I've been doing lives for a long time. People out there pretty much know me most of the time. Very seldom do I get somebody on my live that says, "Wow, this is my first time here. I've never seen you before." Once in a while I do, but most of the time it's I've been wanting to get to your lives. I'm glad I finally made it, or I've been watching them on the sideline, and now I want to get involved or whatever. But when I first started in the business in my first month in June, I didn't go and depend on doing lives to build my business that month. What I depended on was getting as many exposures in front of my business as possible. However that was, I chose messaging. I will tell you that emails are great, but they just don't work as well. Emails have a 10, 15, maybe 20% on a good day open rate. So if you've got a list of 1,000, you're going to have, if you had a 20%, that's 200 people that may open it, look at it, and then you got to look at the click-throughs and all that other stuff. Messenger's got an 80 to 90% open rate because everybody you message most likely has their phone. And if you do it right and you look at the people that are online, and those are the people you're messaging, you look at your sidebar. When I'm on my computer and I'm on Facebook, there's a little bar over the window over at the side that's got everybody that's online. It's got a green dot by them, meaning they're on Facebook right then. Those are the people I targeted and went after. Okay, so I would hover over their name. It would bring up their little profile thumbnail, and it would say message, and I'd click on message, and I would either paste a message into them, or I'd write a new one. If it was somebody I really knew well, I would, maybe write a more personal one. Sometimes I'd go out and look at their profile, find out what was going on in their life. Never, ever did I ask them how things were going. If I wanted to know how things were going in their life, I went to their profile, found out, and then came back and told them how things were going in their life, right? So I didn't use any of those scripts that say, "Hey, how you doing, Ron? Hey, Jason, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. How are things going?" I didn't use anything like that. What I might say is, "Hey, Jason, I hope things are going awesome for you. I know this may be a little bit out of the norm, but I'm on a 90-day blitz, and I found something that is changing my life, and people are having success for the first time, and I'm looking for a few good people that might be open to taking a look. If you're not, that's okay, but if you are, let me know, and I'll send you some information." Boom. And I would just keep pushing it out, 25, 50, 100 of them a day, as fast as I could. Saying as little as I could to as many as I could. Now, was I doing lives on the side? Absolutely. I was doing my lives. I was doing posts. I was letting people on my profile in my house. I was letting people know that I was in the CBD business, and this is what I was doing. I did a launch with Robert Hollis. He and I did an interview together. Got a lot of traction out of that and everything. Okay, but a majority of the 23 people I recruited my first month in the business came from me sending out messages, and I keep forgetting to do it, but I'm going to get a deck of cards and keep it here. But basically, it's, you're just going turnover, ace. Okay, boom, good. Turnover, ace, boom, good. That's all you're doing. You are in the sorting business. You just need to get in front of, and what happens with people is in the beginning when we get involved in the business, we reach out to 4 or 5 people, and one of them sounds interesting. They sound interested. And we spend the rest of the week working with that one interested person, trying to get them on, and totally forget everything else, right? And Troy's smiling away because we've all done that. And then you may, it's like you're out fishing, right? You're sitting in your John boat and you're fishing, and we used to do this all the time out on the lakes, and we'd be out there fishing, and you'd nab one, and that one would get away. You'd make sure your boat was right there, and you kept on throwing it out, putting on the bait, throwing it out in that same place, trying to get that one guy back, right? Instead of just trolling around and just throwing it anywhere and grabbing anybody that you could catch, right? The people that get the most success are the people that understand, I'm going to throw my hook and bait out in an area where there's a school going on. Right? Have you ever seen those little National Geographic movies where there's the Kodiak or the grizzly sitting on the side of the river in Alaska, and the salmon are spawning and running upriver, and they're just like reaching through the air and grabbing them out of the air as they come by. If they miss one, do they get upset? Are you kidding? Well, you've got a sea of salmon out there. You've got a ton of people. We think that there's just nobody out there. Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to talk to? If you're asking that question, it's because you're just not talking to people, right? Because there's thousands of people out there. Thousands of people out there. You just go out to groups and start reaching out to people, you'd be amazed. Now, there is this process that says, okay, I may have just gotten started in social media and all of this stuff, right? So I just started in Facebook and I've only got 500 people, 500 friends. You know, you can go through 500 friends talking to them. And of those 500 friends, 480 of them are, you know, family and old schoolmates and people that just happen to reach out because I put my Scottish collies up there and everybody loved those and, you know, whatever. And then, so it comes down, I got 20 people that might be interested and I've already talked to them and they're not interested. What do I do now? I wish I had a dime for every time I've had somebody over the years on my teams that have said, I've talked to everybody, what do I do now? You know, well, we forget in real life, we spend every day of our life, typically, we go to work, we go to stores, and we meet new people all the time, right? I go over to Walmart and I go shopping and I run into somebody that I don't know, or I'm standing at the electronics or something, and I might be looking at a new iPad and somebody walk up and, you know, I'll start a conversation. Yeah, you already have one of these? Man, they're great. You know, oh yeah, boom. All of a sudden I got a friend, right? Why, when we do that in the real life, is it so hard for us to do it online? But it is. We feel like it's so hard because we feel like we need scripts and we need training and we need all this other stuff. And it's like, what you're, you know, I'm 36 years old ish kind of that ish. I've been talking to people all my life, right? And I'm an introvert. I'm a shy person. But when I started connecting with people on Facebook, somebody told me, I said, well, do you have a script? How do I do this? Do you have training on it? And the person I was talking to said, yeah, I do. And I said, okay, what is it? And she said, life. I said, like, you mean the game of life? That's a cool game. Is that, I mean, life? What are you talking about? And she said, well, how do you meet people in life? In real life? Well, you know, when I'm out driving around and everything. Okay, well, go drive around on Facebook. Go driving around on Facebook. Well, what do you mean? Well, go to places on Facebook that you would go to in real life. What are your hobbies? You know, what do you like? What do you want to do? What are things that you relate to? Not things that you don't, or not things that you think people might be interested in. What are the things that you have a desire to learn more about, or that, you know, maybe you're a fisherman, a hunter, maybe you knit one, pearl two, you make things, you're whatever it might be, right? For like Frank and I and others, you know, we're vets. So we go out and hang out with veterans online and things like that. Would I do that in real life? Yeah, of course, right? Don't complicate it. It's just all you're doing is going out and meeting people. And if I meet somebody, and if I'm out and about in my day, and Troy's in a perfect place because he's out doing Uber and Lyft and stuff, so he's meeting new people all the time. You just have a conversation with them. I guarantee you this, and I promise you this is true, and Troy will tell you this is true. Whether Troy has a business or not, he's still going to talk to those people that get in his car. Right? Troy, am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He's still going to talk to those people that get into his car, regardless of the fact that he's in My Daily Choice. He's still going to talk to them and get to know them and find out where they are, do a conversation. Now, I assume, Troy, and I'm sure this is true too, I'd almost guarantee it, he gets up every morning and he's got a script, right? You got a script of what you're going to say, right? No? You don't have a script? You don't have a. How do you talk to these people?
I ask them where they're from. Where are you from? What are you doing?
You're kidding? That's all you do? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I thought you needed a script. But see, that's how we get in our business is we sit back and go, oh, what exactly am I supposed to say to these people? I don't know. What do you say to people when you talk to them? What do you say? I know, Laura, you guys probably go do stuff with the animals and with Jess and stuff. And I know Bill's in real estate. He would be the first one to tell me he doesn't use a script. If he's going to show a house and that, he goes out and he walks through the house and he shows the property and he just goes through it. He doesn't get up in the morning. He may take some notes on the features and things like that, but I guarantee you he's just going to talk to him as it's kind of like human, right? You're being human.
Yeah, he's a people person anyway.
Yeah, he is. He's very good with people.
Me, I'm not. I'm kind of like you. I'm very introverted. And talking to somebody, it's not easy for me.
But you do it.
Striking up a conversation. Now, if somebody has something that I have similar, like dogs, and we have something in common, that's relatively easy for me. Or,
okay. Did you guys just hear that? Did you just hear what Laura said? If I'm talking to somebody, even though I'm an introvert, if I'm talking to somebody that I have something in common with, so where do you think Laura should go on Facebook to talk to people she has things in common with?
Dogs. Yeah, something that's related with dogs, horses.
Exactly.
I also like photography. So I have got into some. Hang on for 2 minutes.
Shut up, everybody. We all read lips. That was shut up.
That's my border collie. That didn't work. But yeah, I'm an amateur photographer, so I've actually gotten onto some photography sites, Facebook sites. But
and that's all we're talking about here. That's so Jason, to answer your question, that is to me the attraction marketing part of our marketing is us being ourselves, getting out there, bringing value out there, So, and again, going back to to Troy and Laura and Frank and Ed, veterans and so forth. If I knew something, let's just the dogs, right? So you guys all know. Look at my hand; they're healing. Look at them; they're healing. Yay. Yeah, the puppy is not as he's stopping biting a little bit. Not totally gone yet, but his adult teeth are starting to come in, so it's not as sharp. But we give him CBD every day, right? We give him the biscuits. I put oil on his food at night. Hopefully it'll put some to sleep. So guess what? If I'm on a Newfoundland Facebook page and a bunch of owners and that are talking about it and everything, and someone says, "Oh yeah, well, we just got a puppy," and Newfie puppies are very unique in working with them, and makes a comment about, I can do a number of different things. Just like if I was talking to you, Jason, and you mentioned you got a puppy and that, we'd have a conversation about, oh yeah, I got a puppy too. Hey, here's one thing I found, man. I got these cool CBD treats, and they really calm them down. But if they may not for you, and leave it at that. Not, hey, they got some really cool CBD treats. In fact, I sell them. Do you want my link? Because I wouldn't talk like that normally to anybody. I wouldn't, if I was talking to you offline and we met somewhere and you were telling me about your puppy, I might say, yeah, one of the things I found that really helps calming them down and is really good for their health and everything is CBD. And I know you can get them in, biscuits and things like that. And that'd be the end of the story, unless you then said, well, where do you get them? Then I might say, well, you know what? Let me do this for you. Let me give you a website where I get them from, because I happen to be a rep on them, a paid affiliate, and check them out, or something like that. But that's not, you don't want to come across any more in real life than you would online. But you want to not separate these two things. And that's where I think so many people have a challenge with it, because they think about, we need scripts, we need this, we need that, and you don't. You just need to talk to people. And the hardest part about it is that we get excited. And I love Robert talks about this all the time. We think too much. right? Jason, you've heard him say that. We think too much. We just think too much. We wanna think it through and try to, plan it all out and, come up with strategies and navigate this and that. And what if they say this and what if they say that? I get this all the time. People will ask me, well, Ron, what if someone says this? And that's why I've taught you all, learn those words. I don't know. I don't know. I had someone the other day ask me about the comp plan. And I just told him, I said, I don't know all of the ins and outs of it, but here's two things I do know. One is this comp plan helped a really good, and I apologize, Troy, if I used you out of line, but I said it helped a really good friend of mine make 5 figures for the first time in network marketing in his life. I bet you could ask him. He probably doesn't know the exact ins and outs of it. The other thing is I do have a video that you can watch that will explain it all to you now. I hope that helps out. And the person said, well, yeah, let me have the video. And do you think I could do this? Now, in the old days, I would have said, oh, yes, you could. Let me tell you. And it was like, I'd throw up on him. Yeah, you could do this. And I'd give him and we have the best of this and everything else. And all I messaged him back and I said, I don't know. Can you? And they came back and said, I'd like to try. I said, okay, let's talk. So we're going to talk over the weekend. Keep your posture and power. Don't give it away. Is that wells up inside of you like, oh man, I've got one. If you've ever fished, I love fishing. If you've ever fished, you can pull it too hard, right? And you unset the hook and you lose it. If you've ever been out deep sea fishing, that happens a lot with people. They see that marlin come out of the water and all of a sudden all bets are off, man. They are yanking and pulling and doing anything and everything. And the next thing you know, they can't figure out why they didn't. We used to sit down in the Bahamas when I was doing some of the things I used to do. And I'd be on a boat down there in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas area, in the tongue of the ocean. And we would just sit there on our off time and pull in bluefin tuna, dolphin, and I don't mean flipper dolphin, I mean dolphin, the fish, wahoo, really good eating fish. And all of these fish were, if you didn't know what you're doing, you came up empty-handed a lot. And your prospects are no different. You've got to be the one in control. And being in control means that you're calm, cool, and collected. Let them know that you can't make the decision whether. I get people asking me that all the time. Well, do you think I can do this? I don't know. Here's what I know you can do. I know you have the same opportunity as anybody else that's been successful in this. You have the same abilities. You have the same training. You have the same system. You have the same product. You have everything the same. You even have the same amount of time in a day, 24 hours. What I don't know is how you are going to do what you need to do to make it happen. Are you willing, if it takes 2 years for you to have your first big success, are you willing to stay the course? Or 2 months is good, and if you can't do it in 2 months, then I'm out of here. It's up to you. But if you talk to the entrepreneurs, the people, if you haven't read Donald Trump's story, you should read that. Everybody thinks he was given a silver spoon, but that man's lost more than most people will ever make in their life. And, I'm not, this isn't a political thing. I'm just telling you that the financial gurus and experts, the real financial people in the world that are millionaires and billionaires and things like that, you read Bill Gates' story. And, we all think that he just woke up one day and decided to create Microsoft and now he's a billionaire. It didn't happen that way. It took years for them to get where they're going and all kinds of lawsuits and all kinds of stuff. But they knew where they wanted to go. There were 3 of them, and they knew where they were going to go and what they wanted to do. And look where they're at now. I loved it. I was talking to Frank the other night. We had first met, and he said, I'm in this for my next 20-year career. You have to understand, he's 80 years old, right? And he's planning his next 20. He's the baby in the family. He's got a brother who's is over 100 years old. Okay. So yeah, he deserves a hand, right? Now, what kind of attitude is that? That's a winning attitude. When someone, in that arena, because people, I get this all the time. People look at me and say, "Oh yeah, but Ron, aren't you tired?" And yeah, of course I am. I you know, but what's that got to do with it? It's like someone telling you that this is hard. Okay, what's that got to do with it? Oh, you're looking for something easy. Oh, I didn't know that. You're looking for something easy? Okay, well, you know, I could tell Frank, yeah, there's one of them Walmart greeter jobs. They're pretty easy. Go do that. Oh, you're looking for the next 20-year career, making a good amount of money and changing people's lives. Oh, yeah, that's hard. That's hard. But is it worth it? Are you kidding me? It's amazingly worth it, right? I look at Troy and I saw his post, and I didn't even know this until he and I talked. First time in network marketing, he's made 5 figures. That's huge. That's huge.
I failed for 24 years, Ron.
That is huge. Are you guys willing to do 24 years? To end up making 5 figures, 6 figures a year? A month? A month? Most people aren't. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I know there were a lot of times I wasn't. So part of your success, Jason, and to long-winded answer for you is attraction marketing is all about making yourself attractive. That's all it is. But in the meantime, you need to be doing like Robert says and doing like we've taught you and so forth. You need to be getting as many people in front of your opportunity and your products as you can on a daily basis, however that is. There's no set way. If you do it through Messenger, that's great. If you do it through texting, that's great. If you do it through going out to groups and getting more people, that's great. But it's all about making those connections and then letting people know what you do. Turning over those cards as fast as you can. That's why I don't get in long discussions with people with prospects. Some of them want to know all of the ins and outs. Guess what? Pre-enroll, go watch the videos. Pre-enroll, go watch the videos. Pre-enroll, go watch. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you pre-enroll and go watch the videos? I never thought of this before, but you might want to try pre-enrolling and go and watch the videos. That'll answer all your questions, right? Let the system do the work. Okay, you're the messenger. Let the message do what the message is supposed to do. Okay? Don't let the prospect shoot the messenger. You're the messenger. You just need to point him to the message, however that is comfortable for you. Now, I will tell you that Facebook Lives along the way are phenomenal because people start getting to know you. I went to the convention last year and I had over 100 people asked to take pictures with me that I'd never seen before in my life. Had no idea they were watching my lives. I was walking down the hallway and people were screaming down the hall, Ron, Ron! I'm like, Laura, I'm like you. I was trying to hide in a room and, trying to, Carlos is the same way. Everybody's like, Carlos, man, I feel like I know you. Do you know the power in that statement? It makes the hair on my arms stand up every time I hear that. I feel like I know you. That's when you know that people are going to start reaching out to you. That's when you know people are, because you've been real, you've been honest, you've been upfront, you've been doing your lives. Not some of them might be, hey, we're at the beach. We're having a great time at the beach. Hey, I'm out in the yard with the puppy. Hey, I'm down at, we live at a lake town. I'm down at the lake with the kids and we're all drowning or whatever, but, and then others might be, I do a lot of lives just giving value and teaching people how to do what they need to do. Right. So you just need to let people know who you are. That's Mrs. Frank.
Part of that was that he was like Robert Hollis was kind of pre-qualifying. He says he wants to find somebody that cares. And so when I would go on a Jay Shetty, then I'm looking for that great comment, but they don't have the comments on in their Facebook, or they don't live in this country, so that sifting and sorting
Yep.
Is very time consuming. And then when I saw Ray Higdon say, you know, in that 1 hour, reach out and touch 10 people, I'm like, ooh, I had a hard time getting 3. So that when you said the green dots are up, showing that they're online, if you're just on regular Facebook, that's just the people that are your friends. If you jump
Yeah,
into
those are people that I'm friends with. Yeah.
if you're in a group, do those show up? Like,
No, these are just people that are online that are either following you or are friends with you.
because I liked you saying that, but yeah, I don't have that. You know, I don't have too many friends yet. So
Well, and that's what we talked about with, you know, going out to the groups and start, you know, a lot of people, they go to the list, the suggested list from Facebook and start getting add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. Please don't do that, you know, because eventually you're going to have to go unfriend, 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 because those people, Facebook doesn't know you from Adam, right? They don't know who you are and what your audience needs to be. As you start commenting more and you're out there more, Facebook, the algorithm does see who your audience, you want your audience to be, but you need to pick your audience. And we've talked about this before, you know, if you can't change your audience, change your audience. And what I mean by that is if you're promoting and prospecting your current Facebook audience, and I get asked this all the time. I've sent out 50, 100 of these messages and nobody's responded, and nobody, you know, the people that do don't want to have anything to do with it. They don't have any money. And I just hesitate for a while and let them tell me what they're telling me. And then I'll just ask, so what do you think that means? I need to find new friends, right? They don't need me to tell them that. You need to find new friends, right? If you can't change your friends, change your friends. If all of your friends are broke and don't want to better themselves, then it's time to find new friends, right? Now, where do I find those new friends? I go out to groups and pages of people that are professionals that are looking for opportunities and start finding friends there. I change who I spend my time with. Now the job of, do I have to go out to, you know, 1,000 people is cut down to maybe I only have to go out to 500 people because my audience is more receptive. If you've spent your time up until this point developing Facebook friends that are all about something that has nothing to do with bettering themselves or whatever, just people that reached out to you, then
I hear you.
The chances are they may not be open to what you're, you know, presenting at all. Jenna talks about that all the time. She goes out and revamps her audience, her Facebook audience. She's got 5,000 friends and I don't know how many followers, right? But she goes out and deletes people and all the time, you know, and gets molds and shapes that audience into an audience that is going to be receptive to what she has to put out. Not what she wants to, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I'd really like to be friends with like some actors and actresses or something. Who cares? Are they going to be open to what I'm doing? No. So that's okay. Here's somebody over here that's really negative. Okay, well, guess what? You stay over there. You're out, you know. Don't feel bad about that. You know, do you hang around in real life? Think about this, the people that you're going to hang around in real life. If I'm walking, you know, if I meet somebody in my, you know, real physical life and they're a, you know, Debbie Downer or Donnie Downer, whatever you want to call them, then chances are I'm not going to, you know, call them up and say, hey, let's go out and have a beer or something. And, you know, I won't do that anyways. But, you know, I mean, it's you got to remember, try not to separate Facebook from real life. You're trying to build an organization. When I started building the Daring Dream Team, I wanted it to be a team of people that had hearts of gold, and all they wanted to do was help other people, right? So if I reached out to somebody and they said, yeah, man, I want to make $1 million. I want this money. Well, I said, hey, great. Let me connect you with this guy. He's at another team, right? Now, I could have said, oh, great, you're going to make me a millionaire. But I know from experience, those people don't last. They're just people that want to make a lot of money, and most of them want to make a lot of money yesterday. And the reason they don't have any money because they don't understand how to.
No 20-year retirement.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope this has helped you guys.
Got a minute?
Hey, Ron, Anne has a question. She says, can you go over how to use the audiobooks in an ad? Do you happen to have that as an example? Maybe one of your videos you've made in YouTube, or?
I don't, but Ann, that's a good question, and maybe I'll do a video tomorrow and put that up in the YouTube channel. But
Hey, Ron,
what I do is with any links like that.
I got a couple things too.
Okay, and if I was talking to you, messaging you, and we were just, if I was asking you, if I was just connecting with you for the first time, I would, just like I would if I met you in a store, I would probably just say, hey, Ann, I know we just met and everything, but would you be open to me giving you a free gift? I've got 100 free audiobooks. Is that something you might be interested in? That simple, one or two liner. And if they say, oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm going to give you a link. All you do is click on that link, download the document. In that document, it's got the link to all of those. Do it yourself first, right? Go to the link, check it out, and make sure you understand exactly what you need to tell them, okay? Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Right.
I was looking to see if you had photos in the Dream Team page just before we got on here, and I think that you have a file that does say how to use those.
I think so. I know there's a file in the files that talks all about the audiobooks, and I think there's some scripts and stuff in there that I put in there. As a matter of fact, you're right. You're right.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's right. It's right below where you can get the link.
Get the link, yeah.
In files. In files, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'll check it out.
All right. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, a couple things. One, thank you for your training. It's been exceptional. I mean, I've been in here a whole 3 days now. But that post that I put, a generic post out on my post today, I've had about 30 hits back on that already. That was, as I said, I sent it to everybody, including you. Thank you for the like on it, by the way.
Yeah.
But it was a generic says, hey, I've got a new business, and if you're interested, go to my link. And then at the bottom, I made the comment, so we can grow our retirement together. That goes along with that 20-year retirement, even though I'm 80 years old. but the other thing is you brought up a really good point about talking to people and communicate with people. Ron, have you ever gone any place and seen anybody with a military hat on?
All the time.
Do you ever say hi?
All the time.
Do you ever have anybody who don't want to talk to you?
Never. Of course, I've got one on too, so that helps. But
It's a ready-made audience for us.
Yeah.
Anybody in the military. But the question I had is the transition between saying hi to that military guy or the guy in the VFW or American Legion or wherever, Walmart, transitioning from the hi to, and you kind of touched on it, to a business thing, a business conversation.
It doesn't happen all the time. Typically, because I don't carry cards with me.
That was a good next question.
Well, I'm going to start carrying some cards just out of convenience, but because I'd rather get your information. Okay. The reason I don't carry cards is because I'll typically when I'm talking to them, if we connect enough. So if I was talking to you, Frank, and we were talking about the military like we did the other day, and you guys, I'm not going to tell you the story, although I think a couple of you, but I'm not going to tell you the story, but you need to reach out to Frank and ask him about Gorbachev. Just say Gorbachev, and have him tell you an amazing story, okay? But we're not going to do that tonight, but I'm telling you, you need to have him tell you that. But if you and I were talking in the store and we were, talking about, obviously for us, military, I'd be asking you when you serve. I would probably ask, what are you doing right now for your retirement? Are you retired now? What are you doing? Well, I'm on Social Security and I got, because a lot of people I talk to are like me that didn't, even though I had 11 and a half years and I didn't retire, right? So they're not getting military pension. They're maybe getting retirement or Social Security. They may be getting nothing. They may be struggling, which is what most people in our age group are doing, right? So that's just a great transition. What are you doing now? Are you retired in that? No, I'm doing this.
Did you retire from the or did you retire from the military or no? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
So that I use that for a lot of people, you know, even in the younger group. If they're in their 20s or 30s, I don't typically, you know, ask them what they're doing for retirement, obviously. But you know, it always seems to come around. And I'll leave you guys with this acronym. It's called FORM, FORM, right? And a lot of you, I'm sure, have heard of that before. But if you kind of keep that in the back of your head, F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for motivation or money, you know. And so when you're talking to somebody, if you kind of go through those things and ask questions like, oh, do you have a family? Oh, yeah, I've got, you know, Frank and I were talking about this the other day. We kind of went through this. He probably didn't know I was doing it at the time, but, you know, I know he's got 2 kids and he's got 2 or 3 grandkids at this point. His occupation is he's retired, but he's got a very, you know, illustrious background in that. That was awesome. Recreation, you know, I don't know that we talked a lot about that, but when you use that form, FORM, family, occupation, recreation, and money, motivation, you can really pull out a lot of things about the person you're talking to, about where their pain points are, right? And once you know their pain points, you know, I had someone talking to me the other day, and their passion was going out and just taking a weekend and going 4-wheeling. Getting their 4-wheeler, going up in the country. We live in North Idaho, and if any of you have ever been there, there's a lot of country around here. A lot of woods and mountains and so forth. But guess what their answer was when I asked them, well, how often do you do that? Not as often as I want.
Uh-huh.
So guess what my next statement's going to be?
Would you
My
like
next
to
question is going to be, would you be interested if I could show you a way where you could do that anytime you wanted?
Ding.
Actually, I wouldn't say interested. I'd say, would you be open to looking at something that might give you the freedom to do that anytime you'd like, to just pack up and go forward anytime you want? Are you kidding? Absolutely. Great. I don't have time to talk to you right now, but let me get your phone number and your email, and let me send you some information. That way I'm controlling it. I want their name, I want their email, I want their phone number, so I can text them and I can email them, and that way I can, you know. Now, if I'm in a place where I'm in a business and stuff, or I'm talking to somebody and it's very quick, I'll give them my card. Hey, you know, yeah, I'd like to order some stuff. I don't have time to talk either. Okay, here's my card, kind of a thing. But most of the time, I want to get their information so I can control it. All right. Anybody else got a quick question? We got 1 more minute. Going once.
Going twice.
Going twice. All right, you guys, have an amazing weekend. God bless you all. I can't wait to see you on the next one. We won't be doing these over the weekend. There's no training tomorrow. I want everybody to take the time to, you know, get out there either with their family and friends or spend the day, you know, reaching out to some people and just seeing how many people you can, you know, touch base with, how many people you can give free audios away to. All right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
All right, very nice seeing you all. Oh, there's Ksenia. I knew she was there. All right, everybody. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you, Jason.
Great lessons.
God bless you all. Thank you, Frank.